Hi everyone, Teresa Walkerly, intuitive life coach, energy worker. If you are into improving your life, having the life that you truly desire, if you understand that you're a spiritual being going through a human experience, and if you use astrology and numerology as a guide, then this is the right place for you. In this video, I'm going to talk with you about how to connect with your adult child. You can use these tools for your youngsters if you're going to be a new parent, but I'm specifically going to talk about someone who's struggling with an adult child. Because there can be some real complications. And, these are main tools to use uh, energetically and psychologically. And I just want to let you know, I don't know your exact situation without talking with you. And so this is a general guideline of what can be done. But the tools work, they work hands down, and they just need to be applied. Have patience with yourself and stay consistent. So we're going to go over what you can do to connect, because the best thing to do to help someone is to connect with them. What you can do to get to know them energetically through astrology and numerology, and also how to give them room and space and respect in order for them to feel loved, respected, and self-motivated to make the changes that they need. Now, all of these tools you can use for, like I said, anyone. You can just make a little shift and use them in with yourself, your relationships, friendships, and business. But we're going to focus on adult children. And I know that people struggle with this. Uh, my older brother always struggled with emotions, with depression, really since he was a young tween. And we both struggled with drugs at one point, and he ended up really having a hard time and staying in his bedroom for the better part of 20 years on a lot of medications, diagnosed with being bipolar and schizophrenic. Um, and he took his life February 2nd of 2016. And I went through my own struggles of feeling as if it was my fault, because we had our own issues. He tried to sexually abuse me when we were in high school, and we had a pretty dysfunctional family growing up. And I mean, it could have been worse. I've mentored girls that have had it a lot worse than me, but it could have been a lot better. And I am so grateful for my life, because I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be able to connect with you and really understand a lot of where people are coming from, because of what they've experienced. So I've done a lot of work on myself because of the things that have happened to me. And I've learned tools, and I'm going to share those tools with you. Now, it's more difficult to connect with someone who's older, or if you've been in a relationship with someone for a long time, because there's patterns, and they've been around for however long that is. So if your child is, let's say, in their 30s or their 40s, then you've had 30 or 40 years of the same pattern. And so the tools that I'm going to tell you work. And I don't know your situation specifically, so you're call me. We can make an appointment. You're welcome to make an appointment with me. Get on my website. We will get you on the calendar so we can talk about your specific situation. But these are general guidelines. And if your adult child needs serious intervention, if they are suicidal, or they are chronically depressed, um, clinically depressed, and really need intervention, then you've got to follow your instincts, and do the right thing, and take action right away. The tools that I'm going to tell you are general tools. They definitely work, but they are going to take consistency, and what it's going to do is going to shift pattern so that you basically lay the ground and open up space for your child, your loved one, to make the changes themselves with your help. And this is going to be a lot more of a peaceful way, a lot more loving way, and a lot more with a lot more respect, which is going to give you long-term results. And like I said, I know from my own experience and watching other people go through this that this works generally. And if you want individual help, let's get you a free consultation, and we can go from there. But otherwise, this information is for you. Come back to the video, practice what I'm telling you, and stay consistent, and you're going to get the results. And these are things that I have learned through experience, but also from other people. So they're not really my own. There's things I've learned from mentors, from psychologists, from books, and then trial and error. So I'm not going to claim that I made this up and this is my program, and this is exactly the fit for you. But I am going to tell you that these tools work, and if you stick with them, then you will get the results. So the first thing you want to do is you want to connect. If you want your adult child, or someone you've been in a relationship with long term, someone you've known for a long time, if you want them and you're very close to them, to make the changes that you know that they want anyway, then it's important to respect them, and to give them a sort of a space to come to the conclusion on their own, and also to find the right solution for themselves, and perhaps with your guidance. But they're going to come to you for guidance once they feel that it's a safe, that it's safe to talk with you, and they're going to have the respect and openness that that feels good, that they're going to feel safe to open up to you. They're going to feel safe opening up to you, and then working with whatever you suggest. And if they don't resonate with what you suggest, it's okay, because they have their own path. What you want is the results. You want them to be happy, healthy, vital. You want them living their purpose, to maybe find love, and to, overall live the best version of their life. I mean, what parent doesn't want that? Or what friend or even spouse? When there's true love, that's what you want. And that's also an important thing to remember. Connection and love means giving space, and not micromanaging. And I'm not saying you're a micromanager, but that's the way that we've grown up. So whatever generation you're in, baby boomer, Generation X, even millennials, we've been micromanaged and told exactly what to do. And yes, we definitely need guidelines, but we also need the space to find our own purpose, to live our own life, and to be able to be happy, healthy, and vital in our own way. And individualism is so important in a community. Being able to be ourselves within our group actually brings us closer, because we have that space to be ourselves. And and I know this, it's it's difficult to feel like you don't meet your parents' expectation, or you're not doing the right thing, or they want something different for you, they think that you should have. a different type of life or a better relationship or socialize, or that something outside of the box like astrology or energy work, um, or even effective communication, it doesn't make sense. So just allowing your child to have vulnerability with you and letting them have independence and giving them the respect for them to choose their life is vitally important. Um, Again, I'm not saying that you are a micromanager or you are trying to run your child's life, your adult child's life. I'm just giving that, I just want you to put yourselves in their shoes as an individual so that you get the results that you want for them because you love your child very much. I mean, I know that I love my children. I've taken parenting classes, read umpteen books, seen child psychologists because of the way I grew up. I knew it wasn't going to work, especially because, you know, um, my kids are very much individuals, and my son especially, he marches to the beat of his drum, and he's amazing and incredible. He's a natural leader, which means he doesn't like to listen. He likes to do what he wants to do, and he is, very much motivated to get it done right now. So, and he'll get people, kids. He's like the Pied Piper to follow him, So trying to parent a child like that when I first became a parent was so difficult that I knew I needed help. Um, so connection. Get interested in what your child is interested in genuinely. Um, and listen genuinely. I know that, for me, I'm not interested in some of the things that my son does, specifically play video games that, have a bunch of killing in them. So instead, I learned how to ride a skateboard at 40, and I'm 45 now, and he's grown out of that. I've done soccer and other things. We have movie night. They're all older now. He's 14, and now we're learning how to fly gliders. So now we're up in the air with gliders. There's no engine, and that's what we're doing to bond. Fun for us, adventurous, and that's the type of kid he is. So that's, what we're doing. And I'm not saying you have to get in the air at 9,000, 10,000 feet and glide with your kid. All I'm saying is connect with them on a level that they feel um, connected to. And so that brings me to love languages. If you're not familiar with Dr. Chapman, he wrote the 5 love languages, and he wrote it's all the whole series on love, children. I've read them all. Children, teenagers, being single. Anyway, the foundation of his message is key. And that is a way. So I recommend that you buy the book by Dr. Chapman, The 5 Love Languages. Look at the series and see which one is the best fit for you. I find that they're all about the same, except, the information shifts a little bit. So you can find the one to connect with children, or, teenagers maybe. Um, but you basically find what way that your child feels loved and connected to. And the love languages are words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, gifts, and physical touch. So I will let you dive deeper into that, but those work. And also, too, if you are familiar with or not familiar with Dr. Gottman, the Gottman Institute, husband and wife, it's John Gottman and let's see here. John and Julie Gottman founded the Gottman Institute, and they teach people how to have long, loving relationships. And the main principle that I want to bring here is leaning towards your loved one. So basically, they did scientific research to find who would last in marriage and who wouldn't. And they found that the people who leaned towards each other during conflict were the ones to last and have a loving relationship than the ones who faced away. And so when your child is having trouble, or you're having miscommunication, or there's a disconnect of some sort, then it's important to, yeah, take your space if you need to, especially if you're dealing with, actually, either one of you, if you're, you need space. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, talks about needing, men need space. They need to go to their man cave. But I find, even being a woman, I need my cave as well. And so I need my space, and then I come back. The key is that when you're having conflict, is to lean in and not leave when it's uncomfortable, unless you need that moment of space. And a moment could be whatever that means for you, your time to, space to calm down, to regather yourself, to center yourself, and then you circle back. Don't give up. And I know that for my brother, he lived with my dad for years, for those 20 years, and he was pretty much in his same room for that time. He had trouble leaving his room, and I know that growing up, my dad wasn't the kind of dad who was, um, well, and we had issues as well, but that's for another video. But, as I got older, there wasn't a lot of there wasn't a lot of hugging, there wasn't a lot of open communication. If there was a conflict, we didn't talk about it. Everything got swept under the rug, and and we just didn't address it again. And it was like there was a huge elephant in the room, and no one would talk about it. And it just got, there was more pressure, pressure, pressure. Everybody was claustrophobic. So at the Gottman Institute, they teach you how to lean towards someone when you're having conflict. It's important to have difficult conversations, to have clear and effective communication, especially when you're having conflict. When you have those high stakes relationships, um, when you have those important relationships and those high stake conversations, that's when it's important to stay grounded and stay connected, and to be willing to work through the difficultness of the conversation, of the situation. And also to, if you don't need space, but your child does, let them have space. You know, the key here is to create a connection, because conflicts uh, subside and they become less and less. You don't have as many conflicts. The more connection you have, the less conflicts you have. And that's just, the way to create and to manifest. You don't have to focus on the negative. Don't, I'm not talking, rainbows and cupcakes. Life is not perfect. But you can see the challenge and the negativity, but then you focus on creating and working to create solutions, and manifesting what you want, getting the results that you want by putting the effort in and staying consistent in the way that's going to help and create. Really, basically, it's create and to shift patterns. So you want to connect with your child. Okay, be interested in what they are interested in, or create something that you're both interested in so that you can do something together, or have, their love languages, whatever their love language is. If they like gifts, the you can find videos on this too. In fact, I'll put a link below on a easy video from from Dr. Chapman and the 5 love languages. They may like quality time. They may like to have conversations. They may like to have physical touch, hugs, or they may like acts of service. I believe I said acts of service, gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch. And everybody needs them all. But there's usually two of those that are the top for somebody else. They're the top for us, for you, for someone. And you can focus on those to connect. Also being interested in what they're interested in, create something if you don't have anything. Give them space, give them respect. Know that they're an individual, they have their own journey. But if they live with you, it's a little bit different because you're in each other's space all the time. So, that's a different dynamic. And again, this is a general video. And if you'd like to talk more about your individual situation, let's make an appointment so that I can give you more individualized insight and also coaching if it's a fit. But for your child, hiring me as a coach for them doesn't work. They have to want to be coached. They have to want to make shifts, make changes. And I'm not going to say fix because we're not broken. It's really just remembering who we are, what we want, how to enjoy our lives, and then, getting on track and shifting patterns. So, again, we're not broken. You're not broken. I'm not broken. It's just a matter of remembering who you are and learning how to shift patterns and learning the habits that you want and staying consistent. And if you do that, it will help. But I've learned that, and through experience, that trying to coach for free or trying to coach somebody that doesn't want to be coached doesn't ever work. And so that's where giving the space is so important, because if they know that there's a fit out there, if I'm the fit, that's great. Or if there's another type of fit, they have to figure it out themselves and go through their own trial and error in order to really become that vital, healthy, vital, thriving adult that you want to see them become. Every parent wants that. And there's also a way to find out more energetically. There's energy maps. Astrology and numerology specifically are what I work with. And if you have their birth information, if you have your birth information, meaning your birth date, your time that you were born, that will help with the specifics that we need to really hone in on the actual astrology map, place of birth, and then of course the name. I could pull up your map, your child's map, and we could look to see their tendencies, their energetic tendencies. Again, they're just a map. We can do anything. We're creators. We get to do what we want. And there's more in this life that is changeable than we're taught. But that's for another video. But you can look at your child's chart and your own chart. I offer readings. We can look at their numerology, and that is also a tool to be able to connect with them, to know their pattern of thoughts, purpose, how to communicate with them. Some people are a lot more emotional. Let's say if they have moon in Scorpio, or maybe more disconnected if their moon is in Aquarius. They have more of a moon in Aquarius is a humanity. They're really about looking out for humanity, but there's also like an electronic connection there as well, electronics, and moving forward, futuristic. Moon in let's say Cancer is also emotional, but those are just examples. Everybody has their own map, and there's so many ways, thousands of ways that uh, the aspects and the planets could line up, and so that's where your individual map reading comes in. You could look at generalizations, that's fine too, but if you really want to look at your individual self or your child self, then I offer readings as well. But let's see here. I went over connection, love languages, lean towards each other, and energy maps. So that's what I have for you, a general guideline of helping your loved one, adult child, someone that you've known for a long time. I mean, that's really a general idea of how to connect with them so that they want to make changes, they want to make those shifts and, live their purpose and be healthy and vital, because as much as you love them, as much as we love someone, you can't do it for them. No matter how hard you try, especially the harder you try, the harder it is on both of you. There's an easier approach, a gentler and respectful approach to give them the space in order to make the changes on their own. Then that's where coaching comes in. And also energy work. So there is a way for you to help anyone, really. And this is energy work that I do in my practice, in my own personal life, and what I teach. Everybody benefits. You benefit. The person that you want to improve, that you want them to have a better life, they benefit as well. And it's easy. If you're interested in that, we can hop on a call, and I'll offer that to you, with a reading of how to really connect with someone energetically, so that you are connecting with them and getting out of your own head and your own fear in order to stay grounded for them. Because that's what you want. I have found that being grounded for people it is priceless. When someone knows that they can count on you, really, if they can really, really count on you, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, the fun, the exciting, the adventurous, when you're consistent and you're grounded, then that's when you are going to be able to help someone 100%. So learning to use energy is also a tool for you. So that's the video that I have for you to be able to help your adult child or somebody that you love. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in intuitive life coaching, or you'd like to have an intuitive astrological reading, go ahead and click the link below. You can get a hold of me through my website. Or if you'd like a more traditional astrological reading, then I will put Krista Thompson's information below. She's incredible. She's my mentor in astrology. She's experienced, she's genuine, and she will give you the information that you're looking for in a more traditional way. I'm grateful for you. Thank you again. See you soon.